Yo, good morning. Welcome to Minted Mornings, your first look at what's happening on the blockchain. Listen live on weekdays at 9 a.m. Join myself, Pav, and Franklin to discover the latest news, biggest winners in the space, and where the attention is in Web3. Remember to do your own research, as nothing shared is financial advice. We hope you enjoy the show. Franklin, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Yo, doing good. Not too
Oh,
bad. I'm recovering.
gosh, that energy, man. Love it.
Yeah, I had to find it somewhere this weekend. Starting to feel better this week after last week, but
Oh,
yeah, after
mate.
everyone just decided to bully me in the end.
What a write-off. You had one wedding and you're written off for a week and a half.
Yeah, mate, I don't know what was wrong with me. Like literally, just crazy amount of man flu. So yeah, I'm doing all right. Doing good.
There we go. Guys, if you haven't already, drop a repost in the bottom right-hand corner and drop us a GM. Franklin, what's going on, man? What have you been up to?
Family weekend, really, to be honest, mate. Yeah, just kind of chilled out, relaxed a little bit. Obviously, caught up on sleep from last week, sorry. And then it was pretty sunny yesterday, so my brother came around with his new wife, and yeah, we had a barbecue, just chilled out a little bit. It was actually warm up north for once until it rained in the night. So yeah, it's what it is. What about you?
Yeah, so I basically had like really, really bad weather from pretty
It's not going
much
well, this
yesterday,
is
rained all day, huh?
it? It's not going well, this.
Yeah, it's British weather, isn't it? You can't have a British space, without complaining about the weather. Yeah, it was really bad. And finally today we got some sun. So I'm gonna get out, go for a walk, and actually fucking enjoy some of this weather.
Yeah, it wasn't that warm. It was actually quite warm yesterday, but not that warm. But it's gone all like it's warm now, but it's like stuffy, right? Like wet air. It's just yeah. Do you know when it's just like sticky? It's horrible. Doesn't feel nice at all.
Sounds really horrible.
Just sticky, wet, miserable, but warm. Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. I don't know where he went with that, but we move
Like a
anyway, guys.
microwave sock.
You need help. You really
Yeah,
need
I
help.
need help. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, we've got a packed show for you guys today. We're going to be covering Blast, what's happening over on Blast. We've seen some really um, big things happening in terms of marketplaces, in terms of what's happening actually on chain, and even in terms of a couple of the NFT collections. We've got Fantasy Top. Obviously, a lot of conversation happening in the last primarily like 4 to 5 days. We're going to take you into what's actually happening over on Fantasy Top, some of the figures as well, and some of the number of users, because there's a lot of that happening on the timeline, but I'm not necessarily sure that correlates with the number of people that are actively using. We've got Vodafone surfaces with blockchain SIM cards. I think they've got 20 million customers in the UK alone. I think it actually might be more than that. But yeah, definitely a massive use case for the blockchain. Some things happening over on Jupiter as well, hitting 170 billion in trading volume. And you can now swap without having native tokens or needing to bridge. So we're going to get through to that and much more. Before we do that, let's head into our crypto market update, just so you guys got an update on what's happening with the prices. We are on video as well today. You can have a look and follow along with everything we are discussing. It's a lot more visual. And yeah, it's a lot more pleasant than just listening to our voices. So without further ado, Bitcoin's price this morning is at $63,783. ETH is trading at $3,078. BNB at $587. Solana up 3% in the last 24 hours, and a recovery up 13% on the week is at $154. XRP still very little movement on the 24 hours, but in the last week up just under 10%. Sorry, just up 4%. And then we've got Tonin at number 9 at $5.82. So yeah, we've seen some recovery over the last week. Back down from that very that very red couple of days that we had last week, Franklin.
Yeah, I'm looking at my wallet this morning. Everything is green apart from Cardano and Ripple. I think this is becoming standard now. They just don't really do much.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at a couple of the other coins that we've been discussing on the show. We've got Render up 34% on the week, With up 23.8%, Dupe is up 15%, and that's kind of it. Say down 9%. Other than that, nothing really down more than sort of 9 or 10%. Pepe up 13%. It's good. It is looking good. We've had more net inflows coming in with ETFs for 2 days now, consecutively higher. Sentiment is changing. Timeline's getting more exciting. So yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Crody up 25x since I called it as well. Bosh.
Fucking hell, let's go. Yes, I got in Crody on late. When did you get in? Friday night.
When it started, so I'd got in really early on. I'd got it at the beginning, and then I sold it for like 2x or something silly, like everything. And then it came all the way down. It's just been ranging for a couple of weeks. And then yeah, it started obviously after the diss tracks and stuff over the weekend. I got in. I seen the initial pump. I got in about 1.8 mil market cap, so it was
Okay.
a nice little buy.
Yeah, decent. I got in under 6, I think. 6.9 I got in under.
All right, nice.
But yeah,
Nice.
no, nice. Definitely up a
That's why I
nice
decided to tell people because I knew this was going to run. This is one into the next bull run that's going to do very well, in my opinion.
Yeah, let's go.
And then just while we're on crypto as well, I want to just jump on to let's see what it's actually called. So last night while we're actually on crypto, there was a token released on Solana that basically is the first SPL on there. Is like if the first SPL on Solana, right? So basically, what you can do is change the ticker anytime you want, anyone, right? So like literally, you go to the website and you can input there. I think you pay. I think it's flat fee at the moment, but you can bid. I think that's what it was. But you can pay 2.5 ETH, and you can change the ticker of
Wow.
the actual token, and then it pops up on Dex Tools and Dex Screener as a new token, but a completely new and different name, but exactly the same token again. Um, yeah, I think this is honestly going to absolutely run in the next couple of weeks just by how it's been done. The amount of names that has been changed to already has been insane. I think it's called Suro at the moment. But yeah, it's been like something with her original name is Find Me. So I'll pin it on Twitter for anyone to check out, but it is really cool. I'm
Does
gonna
it
try
have
and
does it have the list of changed names like an audit or an archive?
I don't think so,
You
but
only
the
just see the
devs
new
on
name.
this have been really cooking on it like the last like 24 hours since launch. They've done a whole load of stuff. Yeah, found it, pinned to the top for anyone who wants to check it out. But yeah, basically you can change the ticker at any time for 2.5 Sol and basically like make it your own until someone else pays for it and then changes it again. But I just think it's one of those things that's really gonna start to kick off. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna do very well. Not financial advice, but check it
Yeah,
out. It's cool.
definitely. So what? Just so I've understood it correctly, anyone can create a coin and then pay 2.5 ETH and then change the ticker whenever they want.
No, this one is like they've created their token. It's called Find Me. Find Me on
Okay.
Solana.
Yeah.
That's what it was originally because you have to find it, right? Because the ticker is going to be something else. So it launched originally as Find Me, and then anytime you want, anybody, as long as they've got some Solana, can click on the website, pay, and then change the ticker and the image art. So the coin is constantly being something else. As long
Wow.
as it's in your wallet, the name just changes, right? Because the ticker just changes. So the smart contract address is the same, but the ticker and the image for the ticker, like the actual thing on Dex Tools that shows up, and the image for the token changes consistently all the time. No matter like people just change it whenever you want.
Wow.
So
That,
eventually, as it gets more expensive, because there's going to be a bidding, and the price to do so is going to go up over the time. All the Solana that's been spent, so those 2.5 Sol to like change the ticker, they've been buying back from the market and burning the liquidity every single time. So they've
oh,
burnt about I think 15 grand So it's deflationary right now. It's sat at only 3 million. So I think it's a cool little tokenomic like change.
Yeah, sounds lit. I
First
mean,
time in Solana.
yeah, no, sounds sick. That's nice, nice little find there.
Yep. now take it to 300 million. Are we happy?
All right, let's head into. Should we do NFTs or should we go straight into Blast? Because obviously, Blast has been just like dominating for the last.
Yeah, I mean it's a transition from one to the other, really, isn't it? Should we do NFTs and then go into Blast NFTs and then on to Blast? I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's head into some marketplace updates because of Blast NFTs. There's been a lot more volume and users that have gone through OpenSea. I don't know if you saw that. So let's start there.
Yeah, let me try and bring it up. For some reason, it's not actually allowing me to access the June page this morning. But we are seeing like quite a bit of movement in the top projects over the last 24 hours, like Bored Ape Yacht Club up 3%, 15.5% floor price. Mutants back at 3 ETH. It's a decent pump from them, to be fair, considering they were down at like 1.5 not too long ago. Got D Gods at 2.58, almost back at 3. And then Pudgies are at 12.69. So just struggling behind, but little Pudgies Pav making it above 1 ETH this morning as well. And then everything else, apart from those 5, everything else is pretty flat, to be completely honest. You got Azuki Elementals, no real change. You got a Lion Draw, I don't know what that is though, but down at 40%. And then yeah, Azuki flat as well. Like there's not much changes on Ethereum NFTs in particular. So I'm not sure where that volume is coming from on OpenSea.
Yeah, we'll have a look into that. Let's have a look at some of these BTC prices. Also, guys, this is a conversation. So if you wanted to jump up, definitely request to speak on stage. If you wanted to chime in the conversation or had any information that we've missed, definitely feel free to do that. Also, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can comment a headline in the comments or just comment on anything we're talking about, and then we can read that out for you. So yeah, let's have a look at the BTC trading volumes over the last 24 hours and look at some floor prices. So runestones are fucking hell, $765. That's almost down 5k, right? Pups are at
No
4.7.
way. It's
Yeah.
almost like I said this would happen like 4 weeks ago, man.
Oh no. Rune pups are at 4.7k, puppets are at 16.9, node monkeys at 20k. Other than that, Arctic Meta Protocol down to 2.5k. Look, these numbers are low, man. There's not much happening at all. Runestone 772 sells in the last 24 hours. That makes sense. I mean, definitely an entry. Definitely an entry now if you're considering one for
Yeah, I
$765.
mean, yeah, I think this was like it's the thing again. This is a conversation we had the other week. It's literally like at the moment, unfortunately, like there's no meme coin that's actually broke out, and it's not easy to use right either, and figure out how to, buy rune stones, this, that, and the other. I think it's going to be pretty fairly quiet on there for quite some time. We're not seeing like a huge amount of volume on runes. Yeah, I just think it's like at the moment, there's not one meme that's a meme like organically by itself. The only thing these meme coins at the moment have got going for them is the fact that they were first. And that goes so far, like eventually when kind of FOMO hype kicks in. But at the moment, you're just forcing a meme and a meme can't be forced. Like people either get it and they vibe with it or they don't. And at the moment, they're not. There's no one really too interested at the moment. So I think until like an actual meme emerges that organically takes traction, I don't think it's going to go many places. And plus with runestones, there's that high of a supply. I mean, what is it, 120k, something like that? Like, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised the price has gone down.
Yeah, definitely. I think quite a few people got out of those in time and actually managed to get away with some. But yeah, let's have a look at some of the marketplaces in terms of some of the volumes that we've got. So I'm going to pull that up now. Yeah, there we go. Marketplaces with a number of users within the last 24 hours. We'll go to trading revenue as well in a sec. But we've got Magic Eden at 17.4k users, 35%. OpenSea in at 33%. We haven't seen it that high in ages. If you have a look at on the 7 days, you're seeing 35%, actually getting slightly ahead of Magic Eden just by 1%, 74,000 users on the week. A lot of it looks like it's happening on Base. We can see there 34% on Polygon, 27% on ETH. But yeah, man, it's OpenSea's made a comeback.
No, they haven't. They got a bit of volume over the weekend because they got Base and Blast, like Base enabled. I honestly don't see too much of a
over the
big
weekend.
impact.
If you look, that's 24 hours, 7 days. You're looking at fucking hell, equal to Magic Eden at 74,000, 256k compared to only 50k less on the 30 days. You'd expect it to be way lower than that.
Yeah, I mean, marketplace users looking in pretty close.
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look at some of the volumes.
Volume
Okay.
will
Yeah.
still be way ahead, surely.
No, that's actually quite interesting. Blur, obviously, we know dominating 41% in terms of volume, 33.8 million.
Yeah,
And
Blur
then
has $100 worth of trading funds. It's just recycled 1,000 billion times a day.
it's 1 million times the same amount.
And it's the same money. Just wash trading
Man,
through that thing to farm.
I don't know you were gonna say wash trading. You can't. It's impossible for me to mention Blur without you saying that.
Farming is what it is.
All right, cool. Either way, let's head straight into what's actually happening on Blaston. Was there anything else in NFTs that you'd seen or wanted to mention?
Not sure. Dave had his hand up. He's on stage just before
shit.
this when we were talking about Bitcoin. Good morning, Dave.
What's up, my boy?
Oh, hey guys. What's
Oh
up,
wait, let me just 1 second. Yeah, let me just mute you for doing that, and then you can jump back up.
Oh my days.
You need to do something to wake you up. What's going on, my boy? You good?
I was gonna let you suck on that silence for a hot second, my boy. Be like, hey.
Wait,
Jeez.
what's up? What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's chilling, man. I'm kind of down this rabbit hole. I put something in the chat. It is so Franklin, I was in some of these chats that like those are all like the Remilio devs, right? That are doing this crazy shit with like the renaming of the like you could it's crazy, man, like rename the token and everything. And
Yeah.
what we got yesterday. So you guys remember the Remilio project, right? That I was telling you about, and we had to throw it into the Satoshi wallet and burn them.
Yeah.
So that gave us a whitelist for a second mint, which was the Based Angels, and it was like a nothing whatever like mint. And then yesterday, they came out with like all the traits and everything, and then all of a sudden there's like this mad push by like Ansem and this one talking about Based Angels. So we went from like 0009, right, like barely above like whatever the mint was, to now we're at like 003, and these things are climbing, like they're moving them out. Like I don't know what exactly is happening, but in the mix of all this, they also gave us a token. They created a token. They created a Twitter account specifically for it. It's called OK. I think the ticker is OK. Obviously, NFA, yada yada, all that disclaimer shit. You guys know the drill. But yeah, it's like at 100K market cap right now. They gave it to us like an hour and a half ago or something like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at Based Angels now. They're basically just miladies with orange hair, right?
I mean, pretty much. Yeah, I think this is all going to lead to to an actual milady, like on maybe a different chain. But all the clues and shit that they're giving us are essentially telling us that they're going to take us from chain to chain to chain, and this is going to take a while. But I'm telling you, man, like it's just been so much fucking fun because like you can mint every mint you're able to mint a couple, and like you sell one whatever, and there goes like there's your funds for like the next like 5 mints. You know what I mean? If they were to do something, so. And if you get lucky with some rare traits, you can maybe sell some of these for a pretty penny. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I think this is just so different. I think that's what I really enjoy about it, is that it's so different than anything I've ever done in crypto and NFTs. That it's just it's almost like it's almost like reinvigorated. You know what I mean? Like you find the love again. But yeah,
nice.
Great.
Yeah, my issue at the moment is just time, man. Like, yeah, if it was a year ago, I'd be a lot more involved with most of this stuff. Just my day is just super packed to like keep like everything moves so quickly, and to like find these players and stuff, and then actually get into then following them after, like it's so difficult. Like most of the time I even forget to put wallet addresses on airdrops and shit because just not paying attention in the time and things. But it sounds like you've been having a good time, having some fun with it. But yeah, they seem pretty good at 0.003, 12 Bitcoin in volume, and 2.5 thousand owners out of 5.5 thousand total supply. So yeah, let's see how these run. Might be onto one. How many do you have, Dave?
So I had 3, and the second I minted it, I threw one right to the burn wallet right away. I was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm throwing it right to the burn wallet. Because I'm still of the belief that there's going to be some sort of allocation of one of these runes, right? I don't know if it's going to be the ZZZ whatever token, but I don't know. I just have a feeling that like the sooner you let go, because there's a message in all this, right? It's like, let go of the bullshit, learn how to deal with like sacrifice. It's not just about getting a bag, right? It's about like the journey. And like, if you actually look at it that way, I know that might sound cheesy to some people, but like, it's fucking true. Like, yeah, we're all out here to make a bag, but sometimes you just gotta slow the fuck down and like appreciate the shit that's going on. Franklin, the shit I've learned about the Bitcoin blockchain just in the last 2 weeks has been mind blowing, like legit. So, yeah, man,
Nice.
it's cool.
No, it's good to hear you having a good time and you're learning along the way as well. That's what it's all about, man. Like, I think a lot of people get so tied up in the space about, like, this is why I don't get like influencer beef and all this. Like, man, you're talking about magic internet money and fucking blockchains. Like, chill out. Like, what the fuck? Enjoy yourself.
Dave, how did you do with your runestone? Was that fun?
Oh hell yeah, bro! Like I made out like a bit. Remember I told you I took a loan out on it right beforehand, so I sacrificed the dog allocation, but like I took a loan out for it for like a little over 6,000, and I ain't paying that loan fucking back. That's for damn sure. You can keep that fucking stone.
But you can get some cheap dog now. There's plenty to buy up.
I do think though it would be a mistake to fade that shit, to fade these runes right now, man.
I
I really do, because
Seven
they're gonna start
hundred
slowly coming onto the exchanges. I'm seeing them now on Bitmart and all these other like not tier 1, but like you're seeing it on tier 2, tier 3. Like, yeah, man.
To
I
ride
think it's
slowly onto the exchanges. We can say that again.
yeah, yeah. And I was actually just reading. Quick side note: I was just reading something, and I got to confirm this, but you guys know who Stanley Druckenmiller is? He's like one of like a huge hedge fund manager here in the United States. I could have sworn I just came across an article that said he owns 5% of his portfolio is in STX. You know what that means for daddy. I'm gonna go check it out.
I thought you were going to say in Runestones there. I thought that's where it was leading. I was like, what? Come on.
Oh no.
Motherfucker's down bad. Oh my days. Yeah, definitely do not be paying that loan back. Pretty decent trade there to be fair. Very good option to take. Yeah, down 90% from the highs. Pretty crazy. Are we picking one up, Pav? I don't think so yet.
I was just about to say, I reckon as soon as it gets to like $500, it'd be worth it, man. I reckon pick up 2. Nice little bag.
I agree. There's still 2 more drops, right? Like, and I don't think they're gonna wait
more
till the end
drops,
of the
yeah.
year to make these drops. Yeah, I think they're gonna announce something soon, but who knows? But yeah,
I think they definitely will announce something soon. It was almost like after the halving, all of the excitement and energy was just sucked from the timeline, and then it was like, oh, and it was like a wow, 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 like literally. And then
Yeah, well, it's like a realization of like, oh shit, it doesn't mean anything actually.
yeah,
There's no like there was no like meme that made anything.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say was when they do actually announce something, you know that there's so many people that are gonna be like behind it and really, really like rooting for it. And I think that's gonna make a massive impact on the timeline and then the FOMO and then the price. So yeah, man, I think there's a massive community behind runes, and I think getting one of these rune stones at like 500-ish, I think that'd be sick.
Yeah, I agree. Have you guys been seeing these like what is now I guess being dubbed as meme-fi, right? Like, so there's a dev like in the Stacks ecosystem, and there's two projects doing this now, where they're essentially combining 2 meme tokens, right? And what they're doing is when they combine 2, you get like a separate like stake token, right? It's like a brand new token, and they're constantly rebasing the pools. Right, so they're adjusting, so they're constantly like burning, right, like some of like the newly minted tokens. I don't understand the whole concept like exactly just yet, but if you know anything about like rebasing and how they use it with like liquid staking tokens, I found it so interesting, and I was like, man, I think this could be a thing. So maybe, I mean, I don't know enough about to even speak on it that well, but like keep it on your radar or do some homework on it, because I think this could actually be a thing that has legs.
Yeah, man. I just went on to, is it MemeFi Club? I guess Linear will.
No. Oh, I don't know. MemeFi is just kind of like the name of like what they.
Yeah, what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I searched on Twitter as well and looked just up for MemeFi and seeing what actually came up as well. And MemeFi Club came up 655,000 followers. That's definitely not real. Joined last year.
Uh,
There's not that many people here, man. What's going on? Instant red
yeah.
flag. But no, it sounds good. Like I like all this experimentation that's going on at the moment. I think that's what kind of like happened last run as well with we had the whole BNB and stake yield rewards and farming and all the rest of it going on with like insane stuff happening. And that's what really kicked off like the kind of the bull run on BNB. Like I think these experimentations in terms of like exactly what Enigma have been doing there above that up into the top in terms of changing the ticker. It's when the dev gets creative, yeah. It's like that's when it feels like, oh, this is not gonna run. Like this is not gonna rug, sorry, because like they've put that much work into it and then they start doing all these burns and stuff. I think it just feels a bit more like confidence in the actual build to put money into a token when the devs actually being creative with it and created something new. I just think it's yeah, good way going. Already
Yeah.
pumping, breaking an all-time high this morning. It's back named Pussy now, just so you know. Oh, now it's named Devd Working. It's just changed again.
Fucking hell. We do need to move on, Franklin. We've got a bunch of other news, and I really want to have a look at what's happening on Blast as well. We've got Zero on stage, so definitely jump in the conversation if you wanted to as well, buddy. But yeah, Franklin, I mean, we haven't really spent that much time discussing Blast. Should we go straight to? I mean, the biggest thing for me was obviously with Fantasy Top, which we are going to cover as well, was the NFT collections, just staying in line with in the conversation we were having, just on some of the volumes, percentage increases that have happened, even in the last 24 hours, it's getting really ridiculous. So I've got it on screen as well. If anybody wants to follow along with what we're looking at visually, you can as well. We got Blast Penguins in terms of volume, 105% in the last 24 hours, 27 traders, 18 sales, 71% volume increase on Blast Bears, Blastopians. I mean, I haven't really heard about any of these, but it's crazy to see all of this volume that's happening.
Yeah, I mean it's like the early stage it's the early stage kind of derivatives that come out, right? But they're really starting to run now because that's who, devs just threw them up to mint first on Blast. And that's really what kind of just sparked it all going and like what's happened so far. But I'm trying to just bring this back a little bit because I want to see the actual charts, but it's not working for me. I looked at Blast Penguins because we did the Origo mint, Origo X on Blast as well. So if you bought any Origo X, you get like extra Mintify points and everything as well because we partnered with those, and that adds towards the farming too. But I mean, even in the last 7 days, Blast Penguins are up 335%.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like a knockoff Pudgy, is how I can describe them.
Let me have a look. So was that on the week or the month? Sorry.
7 days. 7 days, they're up 335%.
Yeah, crazy. I'm looking at that now.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah, definitely. And then I wanted to just have a look at where was I? Let me just pull out my notes 1 second. Yeah, so even in terms of marketplaces and where that attention and where that liquidity is going, I was having a look at some of these as well. I don't know why it's not loading for some reason, but just so much activity. I think there's been a massive increase in that, like we said, OpenSea usage volume, 296% in the last 24 hours. So it's definitely where the attention is right now, and I think Fantasy Top is contributing to that as well.
Yeah, honestly, fantasy. Let's get into a little bit on fantasy top after, but it's going pretty wild at the moment. But I mean, like all of these layer twos, they've been kind of like cooking quietly for a little while, right? It's been like a while since they've actually launched out. We spoke about Base and Blast and quite a few others that have been coming out, and they've not really gained like the traction outside of just a few collections, kind of, launching on there, getting a couple of collection, like I've lost my train of thought completely, but getting a couple of like community members. But really now I think after this fantasy top, it's kind of they've really started to solidify something that's actually good on these chains.
Yeah, I mean, Sorry, I was just reading something there. I mean, I'm having a look. For me, it's always about where the actual volume is and what the numbers are. So I was looking at Blast. I've got it up here again. Um, TVL 1.5 billion. So although they've been, I mean, although you're saying they've been cooking quietly, the figures don't suggest that. There's a lot of activity. 24-hour volume is 13 million. 240K in inflows. Bridge total value is 2.6 billion. So definitely cooking, man. Like just to a next level. They've got over, where are we? Like a
That's
ridiculous amount of
deceiving,
protocols.
Pav. Those numbers are deceiving, man.
No, but do you actually think though?
Yeah, no, I don't think that. Like to me, that's very. It's either one sided or it's orchestrated. Like if you can't bridge back, right, then it's just like, oh look at this number, right? Like you got to be looking at inflows and outflows at the end of the day too, right? But where is the money going, right? Like with Merlin, they raised 3.5 billion, but you see what they're actually building, right? I don't know what the hell Blast is actually doing. Like maybe it's me, but I genuinely don't see like what's going on other than like bridge your shit. You can't bridge it back, and we'll stake it for you. So now you're stuck and hold on, chill out here. Like somebody correct me because like I genuinely want to be educated on this. I just haven't been able to figure it out.
So,
I mean,
you
if you,
guys, yeah, I can break it down a bit if you want.
Yeah, let's do it, Tony.
I mean, I'm looking at it as well. DeFi Llama as
Go
well.
for it, go for it. Mhm.
Yeah. So in
Yeah,
terms of
so-
where that's actually being broken down, you've got liquid restaking with Renzo, a lot of lending, derivatives, a lot of dexes, marketplaces with Blur, derivatives. I mean, it's predominantly through dexes and through
Think about that
derivatives
liquid
lending.
restaking, Pav. Why do you need liquid restaking? You have billions of dollars right here. For what? Liquid restaking is to literally like if you need liquidity to be pumped into the rest of the ecosystem. But like for what? You have billions of dollars right now just sitting there. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry,
Yeah,
I get a
Tony,
little excited over this
no,
shit.
no, fair enough. Tony, over to you.
Yeah, so Blast got attention like even before it launched for its high TVL due to the whole points farming thing. So I bridged over in the very early, like before you could even use the chain and start earning points right away. And so immediately it got that high TVL, even though you really couldn't do anything on it. And then they launched, and people were kind of disappointed, but like now we're seeing those old NFT collections pumping and getting traded because the meta right now is farming the Blast gold, right? So if you're using any of the dApps, like if you're providing liquidity, like I'm doing that with one of those protocols, whatever, or if you're just using the dApps in general, then you're earning more points, and that's becoming the gold that everybody's talking about. And just a few days ago, like Pac-Man said, oh, they're doing 12 million gold and this and that. And then over the weekend there was jackpot, this new thing where like every block they pick like a certain collection or dApp, and the people that are have picked, so they have to have like a certain token or whatever, and they pick that, and they to play the jackpot thing. And if that protocol, if that NFT collection gets picked, then they get a bonus of the gold. So and then the other dynamic here is that Blast has the yield. So just by having it on Blast, you're earning the staked ETH that now it's proof of stake, right? So you get a certain percentage of ETH back. And so the more ETH that you have over there, you're earning that, while at the same time you're earning the gold on Blast. And then we have things like Fantasy Top, which it's pumping at the moment. So it's a whole like positive loop that has emerged over in Blast. People are fading it for a while, but right now it's getting a lot of attention because we're leading up to the airdrop, which is, or well, I'm not sure if it's an airdrop, but it might be like a phase one thing, and then you'll know exactly what you're getting. I'm not sure if the actual drop is happening this month, but the lead up is happening right now, and people are trying to get all the gold that's available for
Tony,
this first drop.
you know where I've heard this before? Oh, it's a flywheel. Yeah, Poly 0x, bro. Let's fork Pepe. Let's create a pond in PNDC, and then everybody's money literally went to fucking the garbage. It's like I don't know. I feel like they have.
I don't think it's not the same as a meme coin, because they've got an L2, right?
Yeah.
And this is just Ethereum. They're just using the yield dynamic. Now you can certainly make an argument for any of the random coins that will and have been being dropped on Blast, because that's the coin thing. So like I do think that this is going to be it's a total cycle, right? Like the attention will move away after a while, and things that we're pumping are going to go down. But the distinguishing thing here is that we're talking about an L2 in general, and that it's Pac-Man, the guy that did Blur. They're the people running this, so they're going to we've seen this continued incentivization to use Blur, and continuing to grow that ecosystem. And I think that they are starting to integrate Blur into Blast as well, which would mean low gas NFT trading. And so I do think that they're going to stick around. They're going to continue developing. They've been here like 2 years already. So it's definitely interesting. But like I'm just doing a very, very low risk thing where I just provided some ETH to a liquidity pool, leaving my ETH there and earning some gold. I'm not like buying and selling and doing all the stuff that some of the more hardcore farmers are doing.
Yeah, and I mean, even just looking at it as well, I think they've done I think they've done 2 fundraising rounds so far for Blast. I think totaling around $20 million. One of them was Paradigm as well. Also an early backer in Blur as well. So yeah, I think it's kind of like a pretty safe play, to be completely honest, in terms of, obviously it always comes with risk, but in terms of like the kind of the platform going down or being any kind of issues and stuff, it doesn't feel like that's the case, in terms of like being able to put your money there and kind of hold it to stake as well. But the restaking goes towards basically like building the next dApps and the next platforms there as well. So I think it's pretty cool to incentivize the building there pretty rapidly. But yeah, I think time will tell. Time will tell.
Mark my words right here, right now. The Blur marketplace was the thing that was going down. They needed something to salvage the Blur marketplace. They came up with this fucking ridiculous nonsense of a fucking chain, okay? And this thing is going to go down, in my opinion, as total BS, total bullshit, because it's literally like there's no novel concept, right? To say like, oh, you're going to earn native yield without staking. Okay, how? It doesn't make sense. So you heard it here first, kids. Your favorite Rug Radio show. These guys, but it was me saying it. Going Blast, no bueno.
Let's see. I've not like dipped into it too much, but I like what's being built on there. Pac-Man has got a very good reputation. There's a lot of people supporting Pac as well at the moment, which is obviously also over here. So I don't know, man. I don't know. These things, like, sometimes they just don't look too good on the surface, and then they absolutely pop off. And I think the support for it already, and some of the people that are actually kind of looking into these, like what I'm seeing, like actually tweeting and stuff, I'm thinking, this could actually do pretty well. I don't know.
And, by the way, you can bridge out. I do think the official bridge does let you bridge out. I think it takes maybe a couple days, but there are alternative bridges. I haven't used any, so I haven't really looked into it. But those alternative bridges are, I believe, they're just normal length of time, just maybe a couple minutes or something.
Yeah, you can definitely bridge on and off. I don't know whether that maybe not do the original, but yeah, you can bridge quite easily. We're doing it obviously to buy up the Orgos and stuff like that and get Ethereum onto Blast, but yeah, it's quite easy to do. There's I can't remember where they are, but it's super cheap as well, especially if you go from like L1, like an L2 is like really super cheap, like pennies. So yeah, but Marco, good morning.
Good morning, Franklin.
How you doing?
Very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good,
I know
man.
you've been a bit of a snowflake the last week.
I have.
You've been a bit of a snowflake the last week.
Yeah, I've still been up every day though. I've been on here, but I've still got a little bit of grumble in the back of my throat.
Marco
but
hasn't come on for like a month. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Pav. I'm here to support you. I mean, you're there getting no sleep, up every night, changing nappies and giving milk to the baby, and the snowflake is there whining and bitching in the back channel. I don't feel very well.
Marco's chirped up because the frost and the snow's left, and we're getting into spring. The boomer's getting warmer. Yeah. That's what's happening now.
Your joints are loosening up, are they?
He's took the scarf off.
And to that point, I'm just planning my trip. I leave in a couple of days for the US, so I'm going to be in the US for a couple of weeks because I need even more warmth
Nice. Well, it
So,
depends where you go in the US. Some places are cold still.
Come see me. I got all the warmth you need,
Yeah.
baby, here in California. Come on, Marco.
So I go to Orlando first and then San Fran. So I may bump
Nice.
into you, Dave.
Disneyland.
No.
Marco in Disneyland.
In Disneyland.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the Disneyland thing. God's sake.
So good.
Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. So why did I come up? I came up because actually I've probably waited for a year for Dave to say something smart, and lo and behold, he did.
Dun,
He did.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, he did. Because I'll take Dave's sort of thought and sort of extend it on my thinking, if you like. And it's interesting listening to you guys this morning, because what sort of resonated with me is what you've actually been talking about is just recycling, slight adapting of various things. And Franklin, I get your point about. I think you said, the devs experimenting. I slightly disagree, because I don't know if they're experimenting or it's just a recycle, trying to find what I call product market fit, because I'm not sure necessarily some of these chains have that. And I know that might sound strange in this marketplace, because you'll think, oh, but they're making money. But are they making money, or are they making big money, or just making money? And the reason why I say that is, I always look at the data points. I always look where the smart money is going. And in the month of April, the VCs into the crypto market was just over another $1 billion. So 2 months on the trot, we've had VC investment into crypto of over $1 billion each month. That's not happened since October, November of 2022. So the market's very, very bullish in that VCs are investing into the crypto space. But here's the kicker. Where's the money going? It's not into layer 2s. It's into layer 1s. So I think, Franklin, you said Blast raised 20 million. I look at that as a bit of a mid-take. And the reason why I say that is, if you look at Monad's just raised over 100 million. Berachain's just raised over 100 million.
Yeah,
They
same
are
with like
layer
W
1s.
as well. Yeah, there's a lot.
They're layer 1s, so the big money is going into the layer 1s and into the infrastructure plays, not necessarily into the layer 2s. And I wonder if the layer 2s, layer 3s are scrambling around trying to find that product market fit for them. So that's my sort of thought on Dave's point. I think there's just a lot of scrabbling around for what money is sort of left out there.
Yeah, what can we do a little bit different? Yeah, I think from what I was talking about just before that, like I think in meme coins and then between layer 1 and layer 2 is completely different. Like with the one that's even pinned to the top, like changing the ticket name and stuff, like that's meme culture all over the place. And it's like what's gonna just be fun and a little bit different for people to like play around with. I think when we start talking about Blast and the L1s and 2s, I think it's a completely different conversation to be had. But again, like I think at the beginning when Blast first came out, I was exactly the same as you guys in terms of like, why another one? Like, oh, here we go again. And obviously with their main backer being Blur, which is an NFT marketplace, and NFTs being pretty much like on the floor at the moment as well, it just didn't really make sense for me either. But now I'm seeing like Top Shot, whatever the hell this thing's called, Fantasy Top. I'm like, all right, I'm questioning in between, right? They've got some kind of mechanic in between, and they're kind of having fun and gaining the attention, right? So like, there's that element that's kind of stuck out to me, even though I think basically Pokemon cards of people on Twitter who are coined influencers is probably the most mid thing I've ever seen in my entire life. People are making some good money, Pav. What's going on? What is going on?
We say that. I think it's brilliant what Marco shared. Marco, where were you looking at those insights of net inflows for Monad and for those?
I get a data report. So
I think it's bigger than that, Marco.
I have a man who
My man.
generates the data.
So Marco's going to see Joe Biden in America, and he's getting all his data from him.
Absolutely fantastic.
Pav, I think there are, to be brutally honest, there are various reports that come out from PitchBook and the like. So he would have probably gleaned it from some of those.
Okay.
I think
fair
it's more than what you say, Marco. I think it's actually, from what I read, I think it was just yesterday. I think VCs and crypto funds in total raised in April. It was something like $3.5 billion. I'll try and find the
No,
article.
it's
but
three and a half. It's 3.5 billion for the year, Dave.
Oh, okay.
3.5 billion for the year.
Copy.
Yeah, that makes
Gotcha.
sense.
But what's novel about Blast, Franklin? Can you maybe help me understand, like, what is there anything novel, or is there anything like unique about Blast that these other like chains or L1s don't do?
I cannot tell you that because I think the answer is no. Like honestly, I just thought it was another one popping up, right? Like it's just great, Blast has done a token, like that's it. But now, like obviously with Pac and that's gaining attention, and then now you're looking at the fantasy top or whatever else coming up as well. It's kind of like, maybe we should pay attention and seeing what's going on in there. But hey, I mean, Ripple's not rugged yet, so there's hope for everyone.
They're losing hope. They're losing hope real fast.
even just tracking back to Fantasy Top, which is in David, kind of in answer to your question in what's different. I don't think it is. I think it's just the farming that everyone's doing for the Blast airdrop. I mean, even with Fantasy Top, right? So you essentially have influencers who have cards, and you can buy and trade those cards. As the influencers do well, the value of your cards go up. Saw it all over the timeline, like cards going for crazy amounts for like Zeneca, all of like the top tier influencers. Froke had quite a few, Pac-Man, Nansen, they all had those, and it just felt like it was everywhere. And even I was like, shit, have we like really missed the boat here? Because I personally don't like the concept of trading cards on influencers. I don't know, it feels just really cheap to me. But I mean, obviously I may not be the right person because I don't necessarily farm that much, but I had a look into some of the numbers in terms of the users, because it felt like every motherfucker was on there buying them, and they went from 5,000 users on May the 1st, and it actually went all the way down to like 229 users and 347 users, and it just felt like there was nothing substantial there, whether it's the chain or not. It's just the attention's going there, Dave. And I think there's nothing, I mean, I might be ignorantly speaking here, but there's nothing profoundly different about Blast. It's just the fact that you've got the airdrop, then you've got the games that are going on there, then you've got people that are going on Wasabi Protocol, and then people are tweeting about that. And then people like myself are experiencing FOMO, thinking, shit, something's actually happening there. And then they're going to that. Zero, your hand shot up. I'd love to get your take on this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're actually right. There's nothing different between Blast and other L2s. It's just another L2. The thing is, we've seen actually with other like protocols, dApps, etc., that when there's like airdrops farming and they have the right calls where they're gonna start pumping their project on the timeline, people start to feel that FOMO, saying that, because I've seen a lot of tweets yesterday saying that actually I feel like I'm fading Blast. Shall I get in Blast? Which protocol should I farm? Where do I start, etc., etc. And this is how, and it's like a chain, right? If one person is like has feeling a FOMO and then he all of a sudden starts to farm it, then he will tell his circle to start to farm, and then his circle will do to their circle, and etc. And this is what's happening with Blast. We literally experienced it 4 weeks ago. We've been talking about runes, how to get involved with runes, blah 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 blah.
It's
blah.
the same thing over and over
Yeah,
again.
it is the same thing. It is
Attention, isn't it? It's where the attention's going.
I mean, we've had the same thing when Solana started pumping meme coins. Yeah, where should I start? When Frenton came in, I mean, like it's cycles.
The thing is, it's all bullshit anyway. It's not even like where the attention goes. It's who's giving away free money this week. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's
and it's
it.
the same people
shit,
jumping on
sauce.
there, and then that's it. It goes after that. Like there's nothing else after. Everyone else jumps on for the next shiny
It's
thing.
like the perfect target market, isn't it? Sorry, Zero, go on.
I've said when they get their money, they will instantly leave Blast. There's no point to stay in Blast. I mean,
everyone will floor the airdrop, and we'll have to wait 6 to 8 weeks before the token recovers to the launch price again, and then see what happens after that.
it's the perfect target market, isn't it? Like, find out where the KO, like, where can you attract KOLs and then incentivize people to trade on their success, and then they're gonna pump it because they're gonna have a lot of people that are gonna immediately pump their friend keys or their fantasy top cards, and then like give away the free money and then rinse and repeat onto the next one. Like, who can attract this group of key opinion leaders who are gonna shill their performance to their followers, and their followers are going to buy it, and that's literally like what's happening, isn't it?
But there's a path to that point. There's a really sad bit about this though, because and I'm in the same camp as you about the KOLs, the influencers on the cards, right? Because the bottom line is, I just feel the sentiment for me is that it's just all a cash grab. And when it's a cash grab, you're fundamentally taking the money out of the ecosystem. So that's the sad element. Now, I can speak to Zeneca because I know for a fact, you know, the difference with Zeneca, and maybe some of the others do, but hey, I've not come across them, is he puts money back into the ecosystem by investing into other projects. So yes, he's probably taking money out, but he's also putting it back in. And for the ecosystem to really build and you know, offer something tangible with value, then you've got to try and put that money back in as opposed to just taking it all out. And this all feels too much to me like a cash grab. That's the sad bit.
Yeah, like I just don't like the whole. I mean, again, there's two elements to this. Like, you can be pretty much talking like we're talking right now and be fading free money and be playing around for literally nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, you could, like, I think one of the issues, and it's why, like, recently, and I've been saying I've now started to switch into like not degen players, but like some kind of long-term meme con boys that I've got conviction in, and I'm trying to find what other people like, and it's working out better for me than trying to find what I like and I think is good. So, like, what's gonna go viral next? What's gonna like gain attention? What's gonna be relevant in the next couple of months? What's gonna be relevant in the next bull cycle? Like, how are the people that are gonna get onboarded? How are they gonna get onboarded? So what are they gonna see first? What are the players? What's gonna be seen? And like, once I've been like joining those dots, like, things have just been starting to go up in my wallet, and it's been absolutely nuts the last couple of weeks. So, like, I think that, again, the same with this. Like, now applying that same logic to this right now, I can see it as an attention thing early to, like, you know, make some money. But who the fuck coming into Twitter will want to buy any of these PFP card trading game? Like, who's even going to understand it, honestly?
I've actually got I've just seen a tweet. It's come up on my timeline. It's from Raheem. He put, "Are you on Blast, or do you hate having fun and making money practically free?"
Yeah, I mean, that's the option,
weird
right?
one. I mean, it's such a weird one because you can legit make 2-3x on your ETH if you've got it. Then you're, you know, if it's just for sitting there, just for bridging it across and having it sit there, and then it is free money, but then it doesn't give any valued or any provenance to the chain. Like, no one's there because the tech's amazing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you have time, no,
yeah.
if you have free time, like, let's say, you know, the time to do it, you'd be silly not to. But then you can't then turn around and say, "Oh, like, you know, Blast is great." You're literally just there to get that money for free.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's what these influencers are doing, though, Pav, right? You hit it on the head. Your boy right there was just like, "Hey, do you not like having fun? You don't want to come to the Blast chain?" It's like, okay, cool. Tell me what's good there.
That is
You're
mad.
gonna get your bag. But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's gonna get a bag, as are the other influencers that are gonna pump it, and they're not gonna give a fuck, right? But God forbid we actually look into this shit. Like, listen to this. I'm telling you, this might be the hot take, but like, I'm convinced this is it. The Blur Marketplace and the guys who run the Blur Marketplace, right, are these guys. This is built on the OP stack, right? So when I look at this, right, it says it has a heavy focus on NFTs and has features like NFT perps and gas subsidies for developers. To me, what they're doing is they're trying to literally make an NFT marketplace trade and NFTs trade like a fungible like a fungible token marketplace. There are two different tokens for a reason, and that fundamental difference, you're trying to stick a square peg in a round fucking hole, and it is not going to work. I think he got himself into a lot of financial trouble with fucking Blur. I think Blur tanked the NFT market in general. Like, I think it was the worst thing that ever happened, and I think this is going to be his attempt at like, oh, we got all this money now. And I think this is what you guys rattled off just now. I was listening to it. I'm like, oh my God, that's a Ponzi. If you really step back and listen, it literally sounded like a Ponzi. So
yeah, I mean, do you know what it is as well? Like when I'd looked at it, it's kind of like friend tech keys, but they're now trading cards. They've just swapped the front end of it. Like, I don't know, man. It's like
it's a strategy, isn't it? Like I was saying, it's a sorry, I think Mark, you're about to jump in there, but it's a strategy because it's like if you know the KOLs are going to be incentivized to do it, you know that they can create the FOMO on the timeline, and therefore you know that more people are going to be coming into the space. Like if you look at those figures, like I was saying, the users went from 5,000, like, and then it obviously tethered off, and that's what you're going to see every time. You're going to see a massive uptake in users because all the influencers are going to get on it, show their keys, show their cards, show their whatever next, and then once they've shielded it and that's sort of like almost been exhausted, it'll just whittle down because there are only a few that are going to create that value with their friend tech keys or with their cards.
Yeah. So who does that fall on? And you don't have to answer this, but just as a thought right to end this, or I don't know if you guys want to keep going with this, but who does the responsibility when the unsuspecting Joe Schmo, right, loses his whole fucking bag, who does that responsibility fall on? The KOL? The blast guys? Like who?
The guy who invested.
The guy himself.
Yeah. Every time you press the button, you said money, you invest in something, it's on you. Every time.
Yeah. Let me rephrase, right? Like if it is an unsuspecting, let's say the newbie, right? The traditional, if there's new people that come into the space, right? Like there's gonna obviously be tuition, and I get that. But like you don't think that like there's a culpability at least, like that these KOLs don't know what the fuck is going on also? Like I'm not saying liable, I'm just saying responsible, like a little like
we just bitter because we're not KOL because they're making P right now. If you look at some of these numbers, 16,000 trades have happened, 7,549 ETH in volume. That's ridiculous, man.
That's a lot of volume.
I mean, talking about Blast, when newbies comes in and then they see those influencers that are shilling their projects or some other projects, they usually what they're gonna tell themselves is like, yeah, I should invest in. Look, this big influencer is on it. But the truth is, I would put the blame on KOLs because these guys literally like accept like partnering with projects without even knowing if they are like building a product, something, you know what I mean? They just like look about the money and that's it. Because I've been like, for example, a casino came to me. I mean, like a Web3 casino came to me and they said, and we're building this casino, blah 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 blah, and we would like you to come into the project and be an ambassador, right? And then I ask them like, what's their like roadmap, what they're trying to build, when they're gonna launch their token, etc., etc. And these guys he was like, no, we don't know yet, blah 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 blah. Like there's nothing fungible behind it. I mean, like to even like start shilling a project that most probably either it will rug or in 6 months it won't exist because they haven't planned what they're gonna do in 6 months. So
it's funny, like we talk about KOLs as well, key opinion leader, and currently they've all got the same opinion. It's always the same opinion.
Something in the bag,
whatever's relevant and there's pump in their bags, let's just have that opinion. Let's not have our own. Let's just go Blast.
No, but
there's no one else talking about this as like an objective thing. They're just literally running with these cards and making money because it's free money. Why not, right? That's the whole point. But like, there's no one like looking at it objectively.
Key opinion leader, not key objective leader. Come on, get it right, Frank.
SOL, same opinion leaders.
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen. Sorry, go for it, Tony.
Yeah, no, again, remember, like, this is whole, like, the gold farming. Like, if there was no gold farming, I really doubt people would be playing this game. But just one important, I think, distinction is that I'm pretty sure it's not like the Blast team that has created this game, the Fantasy Top, and is doing it. I mean, there's independent developers that are there, and they are getting gold allocations from Blast
For
for building
developing.
on Blast,
Yeah.
right? So that's I think an important distinction. But I mean, the Blur and Blast have always marketed to the DGen and whale market. Like that's their target demographic. They never speak about onboarding or anything like that, right? That's not who they care about. It's you know, but at the same time, it's like that's what everybody wants, right? Like people don't talk about OpenSea because they don't do any of that stuff, right? Like they don't cater to that quote unquote culture, right? Like Base is getting that attention because I mean Base, like the Coinbase Base, because they talk about the culture and they're dropping tokens and they have the meme coins. Like that's the culture, right? That's what attracts the attention. That's what gets people talking. And yeah, like the influencer side of the thing, that's like a related discussion. I agree. Like it's you know it's a problematic thing, but you know like going back to the L2 thing, it's like Pac-Man. He's just targeting to like this is for the DGens. This is for the people that want to make the money, and he's been very good at creating those like Ponzi-ish, you know, incentive structures, and the market has reacted well to it.
That's crazy.
The
Listen
whale
to this,
casino.
though. Yeah, listen to this, and Pav and Tony, listen, Franklin, listen to this, Marco. The staking program on Blast has been criticized for being centrally controlled through a multi-sig wallet. What in the fuck is that?
Do what?
Are
What?
you
What?
kidding?
I miss that.
Hold on. The staking program on Blast has been criticized for being centrally controlled via a multi-sig wallet against the principles of decentralized staking. The staking program is based off of a multi-sig wallet. That shit is wild. You're
Brilliant.
built off Ethereum. Yeah, yo. I'm telling you, you heard it here. Blast is not lasting more than 6 fucking months.
I think I agree with you when I see it in the beginning, but hey ho, it is what it is. Let's see what actually happens. I've actually enjoyed this conversation this morning. I'm gonna have to bounce though, Pav. I don't know if you're gonna run on a little bit longer, but yeah, I got
Yeah,
meetings.
just, I'll just message you when when we're ready to rug. But yeah, for everyone else, we're talking about key opinion leaders. It is. I want to just have a look. I've got it on video as well. You guys can see it. So Greg, obviously he does the tweets. His volume is 117 ETH. He's made 117.6 ETH. He's only it basically breaks it down. He's done 192 tweets and he's had an average of 828,000 views. So the floor price on his cards is 4.2 ETH. Who the fuck is buying these? That's what I don't get.
I think he's the top ranked guy on the fantasy top at the moment.
He is, yeah. He's ranked number one.
Who's that?
You know Greg, he tweets on Elon's tweets all the times. He literally tweets.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, so it's not even like the other KOLs that are tweeting about it a lot. Like obviously you get layers of KOLs, right? So you get the ones that have the key opinion leaders have massive reach. Pardon?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think your volume the volume. It just sounded like volume. Didn't even sound like a rug.
Oh, how about now?
Yep, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Oh, I can hear an echo. One sec. Yeah, so who's buying that? Who's paying 4.2 ETH for that? Like, I really don't see it. Tony,
random people. I mean, random people. It's like Frantech as well. When Ansem, for example, he like to go into his group, you had to pay like I don't know 4 ETH, 5 ETH just to access the group. I mean, and there's a lot of buyers, but usually they're just like trying to flip money. That's usually it. So whales,
it's just a crazy amount. Ansem's volume is 165 ETH, and this is probably in the last week as well. I can't even narrow it down. But New Jedi, you came up on stage. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
GM. I'm amazed that you lot are fudding such a fantastic marketing mechanic. Wow.
No, to be fair, we did discuss it from a marketing perspective. Like, if you want to get, like, you could have a chain that doesn't actually provide much value compared to other layer twos. As long as you get the KOLs and you incentivize them, then yeah, from a marketing perspective, it makes sense. Someone gets fucked at the end, though.
Yeah, but you also need the liquidity. So you always need the majority of where the majority of liquidity lies, which is ETH. And you know these are incredible human beings that are so clever They're so clever because they've outsmarted a lot of people in the DJ world that continue to invest in their fucking horseshit. Fantasy Top, also known as Fantasy League, can be seen in other Web2 businesses all fucking day long. But no, some absolute witty Nostradamus was like, I'm going to predict the future and I'm going to create something which is effectively the biggest waste of everybody's energy. But what a marketing mechanic it is. Wow. And you know, Pav, I'm really hopeful that I get to see another 1,000 people that are so-called quote unquote KOLs in my space continue to tell me that I'm missing out on this fantastic opportunity to waste another fucking hour of my life.
You don't like free money, do you, Nijeda? That's why.
Mate, I'm allergic to it. If it comes with ending up having a lobotomy, then yeah, I'm not the one.
It is actually
Well,
an
TV
interesting point.
commercial.
Sorry, go on, Dave.
I was gonna say it sounds like a TV commercial, but wait, there's more, and it's like, holy fuck! Like,
Wacky wave inflatable, stupid KOL.
yeah, exactly. Dude, it's like I'm looking at this website. It's like I'd be embarrassed to have my fucking PFP up here right now. Like this is fucking, that's crazy. Like I don't. Is the
Nah.
average? Is the
You look
average?
at some of these volumes and how
really
much they would have made from
unsuspecting?
this.
Yeah, but they didn't make Pav. They probably made a small percentage of that volume, right? Like they're not making the volume, right? Like what are they giving them? You know, like what percentage they're actually making off the volume?
It's actually a really good point. I don't know. I mean,
This is
how would we find that out? How would we know? Would you have to actually partake and actually get a percentage on each one? And it's probably from fees and
You
sales.
just have to
Right?
sign up. Yeah, it's like Friendtech. Remember how for the ruse with Friendtech, it was like, oh, you were getting like 2.5% and 2.5%. It was like fucking ridiculous. You were getting nothing, and they were keeping everything. So I think it's probably the same shit.
No, you used to keep more than 2.5% of the volume.
all right, zero.
5%.
Yeah, I'll take that 5%. Yeah, I mean it's double, but the thing is, 5% on like 300, 400 ETH, it's a lot. Like for
Agreed.
like
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like even if it's a smaller percentage, the volume, the amount. Look, you guys, this is also in probably like the last week or the last 6 days. So it's not. It's like for very little work, you're getting. Okay, granted, we don't know the actual percentage, but it's going to be a decent amount for not doing very much. Hello, have a rugged. Hello. Yo, hello. fancy top, and then there is also the farming partner on farming on farm. Good thing that doesn't necessarily have fun knowledge to it. It's the fancy top which is adding that, which is obviously contributing to people that are doing it because they're getting it right.
It's happening. It's just I don't know if the airdrop itself is going to be this month or a little bit later, but there is a deadline that's coming up, and so yeah, with the same thing happened with Blur, where